I'm looking for all the baddies all over the world. Ladies, where my baddies at? I'm bad. You bad. Where my baddies at? I'm bad. You bad.
Welcome to the Not So Secret Lives podcast. I'm your host, Shan.
And I'm your host, Karina.
And today we are kind of doing a little bit of a segue situation. We are going to talk about us. And we are going to talk about the number one question that we get asked, which is,
why are you single?
why are you single? Question mark.
Yeah. Yeah, I come up with different answers all the time.
Every single time, I have the same answer every single time. I'm too picky.
Same.
Let's just start there.
Okay.
Because I feel like my pickiness has hurt me in a way. Because I will find an itty bitty, teeny tiny thing that I don't like. And I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I do the same. And I think some of it is the dating world that we live in now.
Totally.
And then I think also some of it is our standards are so high and we know what we deserve. And so if there is that little something, well, for me anyway, yes, it can be a little something, but usually the little something isn't so little, it's big. Okay, well, this is how you're showing me that you're going to speak to me or treat me, and that's something that I can't get behind.
Totally.
And I cut it off, or I nip it immediately rather than spending time on something that I know will not work in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of standards, this is absolutely crazy to me, and something that I've realized probably over the last year-ish is that I want someone who is doing better in life than I am, which sounds crazy, but if someone doesn't have a certain kind of job or income, that's so fucked.
No,
right?
I don't think that's... I've actually heard that from a lot of people who are in the dating world, because we're successful. We can pay our own bills. We have our own places. We're not struggling. I don't think it's a bad thing to want your partner to be doing just as good, if not better than you.
I want a partner that's doing better. Because which is insane, honestly, now that I think about it, because I think that I have a little bit of an inferiority complex.
Okay.
But because I've been so independent my whole life, even though I've been in relationships basically my entire adult life, I still have this complex of I need to do so well because I want to be the one to provide for my kids. I want to be the one that pays for vacations. I want to be the one that is paying for things.
Oh, absolutely.
And so
I think it's
like a double-edged sword for me.
Yeah.
Because I do want someone better, but I don't at the same time.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Do you think it kind of comes from being brought up with in a single parent home?
I think that it comes from being brought up very, very poor.
Same.
We were, you know this about me, but I'm just going to lay it all out there. When I was little, we moved from apartment to apartment every single year because my mom was always, and my grandma, they were always looking for a place that had first month's rent free. Because back in the day, that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
No deposit. And then we would, live there until the end of the year. Then we would find another place. And every single day after school, I was dumpster diving for cans. And that was just our life growing up.
Yeah.
And back in the day, collecting cans was a huge thing because you would actually get a decent amount of money for it.
I think you and I, even though I didn't grow up in that situation exactly, I grew up in a single parent household.
But I was also a single child, and you had multiple siblings.
Yeah. Well, we were not well off either.
But that's what I mean.
And,
so your mom had to take care of four of you?
Four of us. Yeah. And so I saw my mom struggle, and I saw everything that she went through, and I vowed to myself that I would never be in that situation with myself. And or with kids. I always told myself, if I ever had kids, I would be able to provide for them by myself, which I have done, which has made me super independent in that way.
Totally. Not to say that we have like these super amazing careers. We're not like surgeons or lawyers or anything, but we do well enough to take care of what we need to take care of.
Well, yeah, like
we're fucking poor, honestly.
We're poor. We're not, but like, here's the thing: like, we're not on government assistance. We're not on like assistance,
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
no, there isn't. There isn't. My mom was like, that's how I grew up.
Same.
But I didn't want that for myself. I don't
exactly.
Like, I just wanted to have a better future for myself and for my kids. I guess.
Yes, I can completely relate to that. And I mean, especially in this economy, I mean, like, this shit's hard, man. Like, everything is so expensive. Groceries, gas, like, come on. We can barely survive as it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got off on that. I do know how we got off on that. But I mean, shit, this is real life. And honestly, for me, that is a huge part of dating, because I will be real with you. I can't afford to like take someone on a date. And so I have this big thing of guilt where I'm like, okay, if I got into someone, like, how would I treat them? I could cook for them, sure.
I think that's nice.
But it is. But I wouldn't ever be able to be like, hey, I'm going to take you to a nice dinner. I would have to be like, hey, I can cook you a meal. But I also lay that out up front immediately. I'm like, I own my house. It's more than I can afford. I have kids. I don't have a ton of money. If you still want to hang out with me, awesome.
Well, here's the thing, though, babe, too, about the high standards is you shouldn't be paying for a date.
It's true. Okay, but you and I feel this way. You and I are very old school traditional. I've always been this way. I feel that you've always felt this way.
Yes. It took me a little bit to get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have always been kind of treated like a princess in a sense, where the people that I've been with have wanted to take care of me and haven't expected anything from me because they knew their role as a man. I'm not saying that there's a right or a wrong role. In my opinion, though, a man should treat you to like dinner or...
Well, you believe in like the traditional gender roles.
I do.
To a point.
To a point, because because if I'm the one that's like, let's go to dinner, I should be paying for that dinner. Like, it was my idea. I should be the one doing it.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But typically the men that I hang with, because it's my type, are very gentlemanly.
Yeah.
And they're like, you won't pay for a thing. And it's not my type because they're paying for things or in a monetary sense. It's my type because they are a gentleman.
Well, they are the way that they are. They're protectors. They're providers. They are going to make you feel safe. They are going to let your guard down and just, I don't know, be like your silly, like, I think about it as like my airheaded self. Like, I don't really have to think about what's really going on around me when I'm with that type of person.
Yeah.
Because I know that they've got me. They've got my back.
Yes.
I can totally trust them.
Totally. But going back to the monetary sense, like, I am very much also I love doing stuff for my significant other. I like buying little gifts and I like doing little things and like making up for it in ways that I don't think are maybe typical. Maybe they are. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not every woman on the planet, but
I love that.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy that I went on a date with the other night, and he referred to like, what are your love languages? And honestly, all of them. But I like to do stuff too. Like, I like to give presents. I like to make dinner. I like to be like, oh, here's a little surprise for you. I love physical touch.
You do.
Like, I love all that. And I expect my partner to do the same things for me.
Yes.
When I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, right now, being single, I love fresh flowers in my house.
Yeah.
I buy them for myself every week because I love them so much. Because I just love the way it makes me feel. So
and I know that about you.
Yeah.
And so I buy you flowers.
You do. That's what I'm saying. So like my partner needs to like step it up and be like me and my best friend to me when I'm in a relationship. Like they don't have to be the most expensive flowers. Like I go and get my flowers from the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I pick them out and I put them together and they're pretty and they make me feel happy. And
you know,
that's what I love. And that's what my parents should want my partner should want to do for me.
I love that for you because it's true. You know my thing about flowers? Because flowers are like such that like cliche thing of like, oh my God, well, someone sent me flowers, I'm going to brag to everybody. My thing with flowers is if someone is taking time out of their day and they're thinking about you so hard that they want to send you something so beautiful just to remind you how much they're thinking about you, like that is such an endearing thing to me.
Yeah.
It would make me fall for someone probably faster than anything else because it's just such it's such a big gesture to me.
It is. It is. I agree. I feel like we got really off base.
But that's fine because this episode is about us.
It is about us.
We can get off and do on whatever tangent we want because this is a getting to know you, Karina and Shan episode. We are talking about us. We are being selfish. We don't give a fuck today.
Yeah. No, and this is how we speak to each other. What's that?
It is.
That TikTok that I sent you forever ago?
Oh my God, where they're like, oh my God, how was your day? And they're like, oh my God, did I tell you about this lunch I went on? And the other one's like, okay, speaking of lunch, I went to a baseball game. So random.
We haven't seen each other all week. And I feel like when I walked into your house today, that was our conversation. We're like, okay, yes, wait, I want to hear about that, but let me tell you about this first. And like, so you got to keep up.
Yes.
Okay? You got to keep up. That's what I'm telling you.
Well, it's such a beautiful thing because we will totally cut each other off and be like, oh my God, but this happened. And we'll be like, no, tell me everything. Like, we don't get offended. We don't care.
No.
We always go back to what the other person was talking about. Nothing ever gets left out. It's such a beautiful.
Oh, I love
this. This is why we need to just marry each other platonically. And
I mean, here are my
phone
as wifey Shan.
Yes.
And our friends already think that we're married. That's why I'm saying.
Okay, but that's why we put each other as wifey in our phone because every single person who knows us is like, you guys are married. We will be like, hey, or someone will be like, hey, what do you have going on Saturday? And I'll be like, hey, Karina, what do we have going on Saturday?
Our schedules are aligned.
Seriously.
But that's also what I'm saying is like, if you want to be my partner and be in my life as my significant other, you are going to have to treat me as good, if not better, than my best friend does.
Yeah.
She gets me flowers. I get her flowers. We talk about our day every single day. We send each other voice memos in the morning saying like, hey, hope you have a good morning. Here's a download from last night, even though we already talked last night. Cooking dinner for each other. We go on random dates as well.
Yeah, like family nights. Like
family
nights. All the things.
This is what, and this is also why I am so okay being single right now, because there has not been a man out there that can even touch what you do for me.
Oh, nobody holds a flame to what we do for each other.
I know, but that's not asking a lot. It's so effortless. It's so amazing. And there's so much love there that like when I come home from a date and I'm like, oh my God, Shan, like he opened the door for me. He paid for the date. He did this. Like that is the fucking bare minimum. I want so much more. And I get, yes, a first date, like that's amazing. That's a good start, right? Yeah. But then like as the dates go on, like as you're dating somebody, it needs to be more and get better. And like, here's the thing is like, I will vibe off your energy, bro. Like you do that for me, I'll do that for you. You do that for me, I'll do that for you. But the second that I feel like you are holding back, being fake, lying.
Or that's just one-sided.
Or that it's just one-sided. If I'm doing everything and I'm expecting something in return and I'm not getting it, I'm out.
Well,
pretty quickly. I realize it now.
Sure.
Now, pretty quickly.
It just the thing with you and I is that we are very transparent from the beginning of what our, I hate to say expectations, but it is expectations. No, because intentions is something you're putting forward. Expectations is something that you want from someone else.
Okay, then yes.
So,
expectations.
Yeah, sure. And it's funny because in one of our other episodes, we're like, we don't have expectations. Oh, we have.
But we do.
We just didn't know it. But we put them out in the beginning and we're like, hey, listen, is this you? Mm-hmm. Like literally the first part of a conversation that I will have with someone is, hey, are you a gentleman? Are you a protector? Are you this? Are you that? Blah, 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 blah. And if they're like, yeah. I'm like, cool, let's continue talking.
Right. Because if they weren't, you wouldn't want.
It wouldn't even be worth my time.
But here's the thing with that too, is
everybody lies.
Yes. They will say all these things. And here's the thing that I have come to be better at with myself is I will be in the talking phases or the texting phases and, ask them questions. They'll say the things. But then going on a first date, a second date, a third date, I will watch and I will listen.
Yeah.
To see if they are really being who they told me that they would be. Because I am to the point where I'm like, yeah, this is me. If you do this, I might get a little bit crazy. I might get a little bit mad. Like, I lay it all out, the good, bad, the ugly. And I feel like everyone should.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting here trying to be your best self, and then like in the first 3 to 4 or 5 dates, you're already showing me that you can't uphold what you told me you were.
Yeah.
I'm going to notice that. That's going to be a red flag for me, and I'm going to be done.
Right. You know what's crazy about that, though? Is that they love it in the beginning. They love how transparent you are in the beginning. Oh, they're like, oh my God, I love this. I love this. I love it. And then later on, or like a week later or whatever, they're like, you know what? I actually don't know if I love it so much. And I think that this is not good. And this is blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, but I told you that that is who I am as a person.
It's because we're calling them out on their bullshit.
Or they're realizing that they were full of shit. I have done it. Someone has asked me something. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally that way. And then the more that time goes on, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm actually not that way because this is actually bothering me.
And that's okay.
It is. But that's what I'm saying. It's okay on both ends.
Yeah.
Like maybe you thought you were a good fit in the beginning, but then you're just not. Because I don't want this to sound like we're coming at men. We're just coming at the men that we've been with or in our personal experiences, because everyone changes. That is the biggest part of life, is change. You only grow when you change.
I agree.
And so I feel that, especially for me, I'm incredibly whiplashy. Because one second I'm like, oh my God, I absolutely love this. But you know what? On the same token, I don't love it. I'll think of an example as we start talking. So put a pin in this, everybody, because I will think of an example. It's coming. I'm sure.
I feel like, and maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I'm pretty steadfast in
you are. But not
stuff.
Everybody is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because we might feel, I'm talking, because you and I are not the same person at all.
No.
We are the same person, and we are not the same person. But you are, right, you are pretty level. I am like peaks and mountains and ravines and all of I'm doing a motion with my hands of like ups and downs.
The Shan is an up and down.
I am an up and down, because one minute I'm like, yes, I absolutely love this. The next minute I'm like, you know what? I might not love this. Which is, I'm a very hard person to be with, and I have told every single person that I've been with. I am not an easy person to be with.
Well,
I have opinions.
neither am I, apparently.
But that's the thing, you are. Here's my thing with you. What I feel.
Yes, tell me.
We touched on this in one of the last episodes. I feel that you are just so good. You're just like so even planed, just whatever kind of in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, until you piss you off. But not only that, but it almost makes it to a point where men think that they can walk all over you and that you'll just take it. Because most of the time you're just like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And then they get to a point where everything is so cool that they're walking all over you. And then you're like, yeah, I don't love this. And they're like, oh, but you were so cool. And now you're not. And so I can't be with you. That is what it is. So maybe just fucking be feisty in the beginning and be like, listen, motherfucker.
It's just not my nature, though.
It's not. But, you know, I feel that that's why.
I agree with you on that point because
I just don't want you to be a doormat, babe.
I don't want to be a
And that's really fucked to say, and I'm sorry. I'm
No,
to my pocket.
No, you're good. I'm
also a doormat, so.
Shan, I don't want to be a doormat either. I will try my hardest to be a little bit more feisty, but I only really get feisty when I've been pissed off or had enough. But that's just like who I am.
Okay,
it's just
I
part
know.
of my personality. I'm like that in my life, not just with dating.
I know, sis, but I'm saying that I'm not saying that you should change at all. I'm just saying maybe don't be so cool with the things that you know that you're not going to be cool with later on.
I get that.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, we got a long ways to go. We got lots.
I feel like I don't realize it, though, until it's like too late and it's already making me mad.
But it's almost because you and I do have this kind of I don't give a shit attitude. Because we're just like, it's whatever. You're dating. I'm dating. I can't put my foot down. But, God, I am having a realization. But if we have something that we're interested in, we should just be like, no, listen, this is what I want. This is what I don't. I get we're both dating other people, but these are hard lines for me. I'm done. Love that for us.
Shan, I really like that. I actually really like that. Because it happens when I get feelings for somebody that then it bothers me. If I didn't have feelings for that person, it doesn't bother me at all.
Right.
It's only when I start to get the feels and I get in my head, like we talked about in a couple podcasts ago, that I start to be all weird. And it's because I haven't been upfront with that person when I started having feelings for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is way better about
Yeah. And this is where I'm going to get whiplashy because you know what? Maybe no. Because you don't know in the beginning, right? You don't know if you're going to have feelings for them.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm going to get whiplashy too. That's what I'm saying.
God, we don't even know.
You don't know that you have the feelings for somebody until it just fucking happens. And they're like, oh shit, what just happened? And it goes back to the, oh God, what am I doing now?
I know.
And you just, you start to like rewind, but you can't fucking rewind.
You can't. It's so tragic. Okay.
Where am I?
You know, I'm just going to segue a little bit because we got off on a tangent. There's so much we need to cover. And I love that for us because, again, this is the podcast about, or this is the episode about the Karina and the Shan. But I'm so picky. But it goes back to everything that we just said. But like, I have the hardest time getting feelings for someone. And it sucks because I want to get feelings for someone. But it's like I will meet these men and they on paper are perfect. They have a good career. They're handsome. They're tall. We know that's a biggie for me.
They have to be tall.
They have to be tall for the Shan. They are good dads. They don't have kids. Whatever.
Mhm.
They're like so perfect for me on paper. But then there's that one little thing that I don't like. Not a fan. And it could be whatever. Could be the way they blink. Nobody knows.
Well, it's like me with the guy with the teeth. He sent me a picture of his smile. I was like, I don't like his teeth.
Okay, but teeth are such a big deal.
It wasn't okay. It wasn't even his teeth. It was the way he smiled and stuck his tongue through his teeth
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And it kind of
Yeah, that's a new term that has been discovered over the last year. The ick. I get the ick more than anybody I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, you do.
And it's crazy because once I get it, I'll be so into somebody while we're texting and I'll meet up with them and they'll do one little thing. And I'm like, oh, but I was so into you. Why? Why? I hate how picky I am. I hate it.
I feel like a lot of people can relate to it, though. Especially
sure.
in this dating world. I feel like, for you and I anyway, we have been on so many dates with so many people and we have such high standards and we are very picky that it has made us even more picky to the point where we're like nitpicking every little thing. And we've had this conversation. Are we being too picky?
I feel like I am for sure.
I don't feel that way.
Kate talks too much. Such a good dude in every aspect.
Okay.
I just didn't like how much he talked. That was it.
But is it something that you could stand
No.
in a long-term relationship?
No.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
not being
Well,
it's not being picky.
okay, you're right. You're right. I think you're not wrong. Okay.
You just realize it very soon.
I do.
Whereas,
But then I just don't even give it a chance because maybe one day I'll want to talk as much as he does with him.
no, babe,
You're right. Okay.
Shan,
I know.
you went on a few dates with him.
That's true.
And every single time, you did not like that part of him. It's nothing about him. He was good on everything else. But that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is it's the one thing that you have a hard no on. And it's okay to have a hard no on it.
You're right. You know what? Okay.
Your pickiness is that you just don't want to be in a relationship.
But I do. But here's the thing.
Now you do.
I do. Okay, listen. I want that big love. And I want my next relationship to start off with some hardcore love bombing. I
That's what we know.
I love bombing. I was having a conversation with someone today about it. I am down with the toxic love bombing.
But Shan,
And I think it's because I cannot get emotionally attached.
see, and for me, when I'm getting love bombed, I'm like, oh, shit, this is so bad for me.
Oh,
I already know.
and I'm like, give me more.
Oh, I'm not saying that I won't play into it, but I also know not the right person for you.
But that's what I'm saying. That's how I want my next actual, like, long-term relationship to start. I want them to be, yes, I want them to be so sure from the very beginning that they are just love bombing the shit out of me. And that love bombing continues until we die. That is what I want. I want that big love. I want this super cordy thing of like, he's my king and I'm his queen. I want that shit. I want us to both be put on a pedestal where no one else in the world compares to us. I want to be so fucking in love with somebody that nothing else matters.
I actually do love that. And here's the problem with that. Is again, we've read too many smut novels. that is the way it starts. But then, it starts off so toxic, but then they keep going, and it's like so endearing and so loving, and like such a great relationship, and there's so much respect. But how does that actually translate into real life? It does not. It can. No, it just keeps being toxic. Stop it. Stop.
I've been in so I've had toxic relationships I've never realized it before that my relationships were so toxic because I'm like, but I kind of love it. So it was true love.
Don't we all?
Right. And so these toxic, and I think it's because there was that like deep passion of like, we love each other so much that it is fucking toxic. I want that again.
Oh my God.
But I don't. I want it to be a healthy toxic.
Okay, so let's get this straight now. You want love bombing to a toxic level, but you also want it to continue throughout your long-term relationship, but become a healthy toxic love bombing. Cool.
There has to be someone out there for me.
Let me give you a male character from one of the smut novels you just read.
Everyone that we've read.
Oh my God.
Oh. Hey, listen, if there are any smut novel authors listening to us, send us your books. We will give you the reviews. Because, good God, any fucking... I just love that big love.
I love it too. I personally like it to go a little slower. And because I've been in those relationships where it is fast, it is crazy, it is amazing. And don't get me wrong, like it is an amazing feeling in the moment.
Ugh,
and then for me, unlike you and your ex where it continued, for me it stopped.
And it got bad. And I stayed in it thinking, how can I change or how can I do better? And it's like, no, they should just love me for me. But it's true. And I'm going to be whiplashy here.
Okay.
Because I also want that like Notebook kind of love where it's not toxic and it's healthy and it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's all things amazing. I might be a little bipolar when it comes to dating and love. But I mean, I just...
You might be. I think we all are. I think you can't.
We're all just doing our best out here.
We're all doing our best. Can I say though,
please do. Please do segue.
It's like a tangent. So when I have gone into something like super fast and I get the feels and I'm like, oh yeah, like all these things, and then like things start trickling off where they're not putting in as much effort, or we're making plans and they're canceling, and I'm trying and I'm being communicative and I'm doing all these things, and then I finally get to a point where I tell them, I just don't think this is going to work out. I don't think we're aligned. You're not putting in the energy that I'm putting in, and we end it. So not all the time, but sometimes these guys will come back.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's me as a person, me as a Leo, or, zodiac, fun stuff. But my brain, because I have been burned so many times by like trying to make plans and trying to make an effort, and I was like hit a wall. My brain almost like turns off the feelings for them. So like when they do come back, I'll give it a chance and I'll be like, okay, let me see if I can get like these feelings back again. And most of the time I can't. And it's like, I don't know if it's like a defense mechanism or if this person wasn't right for me in the first place and I was just trying to make it work, or I'm just like so stubborn and upset that like, but my brain will not let me have feelings for this person again. And it's happened a few times.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks because they could potentially be good, but I don't think that they are. And I think it's my brain and like,
yes,
my soul and my higher self being like, yeah, no, you did that for a reason.
Yes.
And
for sure. Because all of these situations happen, people that would not have been good for you.
Yeah.
And I have never met, and I just like idolize you so much because
oh my God,
you will get these deep feels for people You are my little love bug and you just want feels so bad and you get these deep feels for people. I have never met anyone in my entire life who has cut feelings off so quickly. You take a day to recover. I take like weeks. I'm like, I'm sad. But you're like, I'm really fucking sad right now. And I'm going to be sad for 24 hours. And then I'm fine. It's gotten to a point over the years where when you are sad, I'm like, oh, come here, babe. Let me love you for that day.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I almost forget about it. And I'm a shit friend because I'm not even checking in with you anymore because you're just fine. And so I'm not even like, how you doing, babe? Yeah. You feeling okay? And that's my bad. And I feel shitty about it sometimes. But you're just so quick to just done.
Yeah. Well, and I think we're talking about us. I'm going to go into like my higher self right now. Like, it is my higher self completely protecting me from something that isn't good for me. And I'm not sad for that long because it probably wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
And I am actually listening to myself now, even though, did I let it get to that point where I am being hurt for 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever, and it's like sad and it sucks. But what have I told you on all of those times? Like, I'm more mad at myself than I am at that person. I'm mad at myself for like letting me get to that point where I knew it wasn't good.
Right.
I was just trying to make it fit.
Yeah.
Yet again.
Right.
I knew what their intentions were. I just thought that like it could be different this time.
Right.
So I was definitely more upset about myself for those situations, which is why I think I kind of got over it a little bit faster.
Yeah. And you're just like, you're so strong as an individual anyway that you just, you have this like shield about you. Maybe it is the like Leo in you, like that lion coming out of like protector of like protecting yourself. And it's just such a cool thing because I have clinical depression as it is. And so maybe that's why I don't fall for people easily because I have such a guard up.
Maybe.
Because when I do have feelings for someone, it takes me a long time to recover. Even my ex-boyfriend that I broke up with, I was still like, this is a bummer. Like,
you were
I don't love it.
You were sad for a long time.
Yeah.
I think also because you didn't want to hurt him.
Oh, that was a huge part of it. I have to pee so bad. My teeth are floating.
Your teeth are floating?
My grandma used to say that. You know, at the end of the day, I just want someone to be super into me. And I want to be super into someone.
Girl, same.
It feels impossible in this dating era.
It does. Because, I mean, even for you and I.
Well, there's just so many options.
I know.
In general. Men, women.
I know. And it's so hard to. I mean, you hear those stories of it happening, but it is so hard when you like the connection that I had with that guy. I felt like it was a really good connection. I was dating other people, he was dating other people, but I felt like our connection was so great that it could have gone somewhere. But I don't think he was.
I was fooled.
Yeah, I don't think
that does not happen.
I don't think he's in the place for it. I mean, and it's fine and it's done and it's over, but it just sucks getting like your hopes up for maybe something like that for like to happen. Because that's what we all want at the end of the day. We want somebody to be super into us. We want to be super into them.
Yeah.
But
it's like heartbreaking at this point.
It is. And again, that's, I think, why.
Oh my gosh.
We're single.
I know.
I mean,
I'm going to talk about this sweet girl from my work.
Oh.
I kind of want to say her name because she listens to our podcast religiously and she would probably love a shout out, but I don't know if I should.
No, I don't think you should.
It's a good story though. Anyway.
Oh,
there's this girl at my work.
Oh,
okay. She met a guy. She was in the dating world for half a minute, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
She met this guy. They instantly hit it off. Instantly. True love. They love each other so much, it's ridiculous. They moved in together within like 2 months. they're so in love. It's so cute. It's like every time I see her, we share an office, and every time I see her, I'm just like, even if we don't talk about it, I just like the love in my heart for her situation is so big. And she's just so happy.
She probably exudes that too. Like it just comes out of her body. Oh, I love that.
And he's such a good guy. And they're just like so in love. And it's so funny. She was telling me about an argument that they had had the other day. And it was so silly and cute. And she was like, and it's crazy because we got into this little argument and then we talked about it and then we were fine. And I'm like, girl, that is so healthy.
It is.
Yeah.
So healthy.
It's so healthy. But I look at her and I'm like so envious, but like in a very healthy, good way.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I have told her this. I'm like, my heart like grows an inch every time you tell me about how in love you are.
Does it give you a little bit of hope?
It gives me so much hope, not only because of that, and I guess this is why I won't say names, but she also had really bad sexual experiences in the past. Not bad in like a negative, awful, toxic way, but like bad in like she didn't like sex and she wasn't like getting fulfilled in a sexual way. And I always told her, I'm like, sex is such a beautiful thing. Like, yeah, you just need to find the partner. And she came to me and she was like, I found this partner, like, I want it all the time. I like look at him and I just want to jump his bones. And I'm like, yes, baby, that is healthy. That is beautiful. That is amazing. That is how it should be.
Yes.
And she's like, I just never knew it was like that. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I told you. She's like, you did. And that's why I had to tell you, like, this is so amazing. And I'm like, yes, baby, I love this for you.
Well,
it gives me so much hope for sure.
I love that. And it kind of goes back to the fact where she's confident in this relationship.
Yes.
She can let her guard down and she can be like her
She can express her concerns.
Sexual being.
Yes.
I think that's a huge part in relationships.
It's huge. Like, it's so beautiful. It's such a wonderful thing. She's so open. She's so honest with her partner.
Oh, I love that.
They're honest with each other, I feel. Obviously, I have not met her new partner, but I have heard from her. She's very honest with me. She's such a beautiful young soul. And it is amazing. It's such a wonderful thing. And it inspires me. And I get these happy, feel good fuzzies when she talks to me. And I just love so much. It's so beautiful.
I just feel like I'm so tainted. I don't feel like I came into my sexual being until after my first long-term relationship.
So speaking of being sexual, that's another thing that's really important to us in relationships.
Oh, yes.
But on the same token, we don't want men to talk to us about that, like before we meet.
Yeah. Speaking out of both of my mouth right now.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, it's true though, because like if I am actually into somebody, I'll be like, listen, I don't want to talk about sex.
Right. No, but it's so true. Like if I know that it's not going to go anywhere or be anything, I will be
promiscuous.
Yes. But if I feel like there could be something there and I feel a vibe with you, like I am very classy until we get into the bedroom,
Yeah.
But sex is a huge part of any relationship, I think. And I think being able to express what you want sexually in a relationship is huge. And being on the same sexual vibe as your partner is also huge. I know that in some of my past relationships, it wasn't on. And it was a huge point of contention.
Totally. It is, because I was also my ex-boyfriend, for instance. I wanted sex a lot more than he did. And I wouldn't think that he like didn't want me or anything like that, but I would get frustrated.
Yeah.
I was like, I felt like a man. Like, I was like, well, I want it. I wouldn't ever like pressure him into it, but I'm like, this is not fun. It's not fun when you're not sexually compatible with someone.
Yeah.
But like finding the line when you're first talking to someone compared to when you can actually get into conversations about sex when you actually do like someone.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a hard line. I don't know.
No, I think being older now, and it goes back to like men and women. I think in my 20s, because women don't come into their sexual prime until like 30s,
late 30s, baby.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting.
I know. It's
because we're so fucking maternal. We can't think about sex being for anything else but rather than
making a baby. And men, it's the opposite, right? So in my 20s, being in a long-term relationship, and, you know, it was hard. And also I wasn't as confident as I am now back then. And then coming into my mid to late 30s, now I'm 40, like, I love sex. I want it all the time. If I am with a partner long term, I expect them to want it all the time too.
Right.
But then now, with men our age,
they fucking can't.
They are struggling. They're struggling.
Listen.
Like, why were we made this way? It's like the opposite. It should be, yes, somewhat the same. And that is why sometimes, and I have been in a relationship with a younger guy where it was so sexually compatible, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I know.
But then emotionally and like
mentally,
well, not mentally, but like life happened. Like,
yeah,
I already had kids. He wanted more kids. I didn't want more kids. Like, it's that life path that we're just not on together. And so it makes it hard. And like that relationship was amazing in so many ways.
So many ways.
And that, amongst a couple of other things, made it so it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And I am proud of myself for being like, okay, I'm going to stop this right here. I'm not going to compromise because hell no, I don't want more kids.
Right.
I've already put my body.
You fucking thought about it for a second.
I
was
did.
Like, oh my God,
I did. I almost had another kid at 39. Jesus. But I thought about it, and at the end of the day, I was like, no, I'm not going to put myself through that again I shouldn't say for a man, but like for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that to myself. And so many times I have done things to myself for somebody else, and I'm not going to ever do that again.
No, don't.
No.
Can I just go back to one thing that you said, though?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just let every single man who is a little bit older know it is okay to take the little blue pill. Nobody on God's green earth is going to fault you for taking the little blue pill.
Please take it.
Please.
Please.
For the love of God, do all of us women a favor and take the little blue pill. We will love you throughout it all. We understand it's a thing that comes with age. Hell, when women get to menopause, they can't get wet anymore. It's fucking fine. We understand the assignment. Take the little blue pill. We will use lube. Like, do the things. Do the things. Go get your testosterone levels checked. If you're not feeling like you want to have sex anymore after a certain age, it's because you lost some testosterone. Go get your testosterone checked. Take the little blue pill. Do the things. Do the things.
Sex is so important.
Please. Us women, we need the sex. It's such a good thing. We don't care. Nobody cares. We're at an age where we don't care. I've got depression. I take medication for it. I've done it for the last over 10 years. I'm a totally healthy, normal person, but it's a problem in my brain that doesn't work. And it's a problem with your dick that doesn't work. Just take the fucking pill. Oh my God. Anyways, okay. We'll move on to something else.
We're going to segue into another reason why we're single. Well, okay. Why I'm single, I feel. Okay. Because this is going to be so whiplashy. There are 4 maybe reasons why I'm single. A, I want to be. I am happy with my life. I am happy with like controlling, and everybody knows I'm a huge control freak and I like my schedule and everything. No. B, I'm very picky. Very, very picky. Very, very high standards. C, it's fucking a lot of work. And to bring someone into my life to do that, it takes a lot of time and effort, which is fine, but not a lot of people are willing to put that in. Did I ever say D? I said 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm going A, B, C, D.
I love that for you.
I can be a little crazy.
No.
I think so. I think it can come off like that to men because like you said, like I started off like cool, which I am at the beginning. But then I get the feels, and then my standards kick in, my high standards.
Yeah.
And they don't like that very much. And then I get upset and I'm like, okay, well, bye. Or I'm trying to make something fit that it won't. And I'm being like too, I'm double texting, I'm calling, I'm like being like, hey, when can you hang out? And I feel like for men, that can come off a little.
It's because you're forward and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But that, like, I can go from one person to another, and that can. Listen, we all have a little crazy in us. That is my crazy.
Male, female, it doesn't matter.
And that's why I feel like I am single.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give my rundown then.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D.
Sure, all of them. I'm gonna do 1, B, 3, D.
Just do 1, 2, 3, 4. I did it.
Okay, it's cool. Number one, the number one reason that I am single. I'm going to do 1 and I'm going to do 1.2.
Okay.
Number one reason that I am single is because I choose to be. Because I am a very patient woman and I will not settle.
Preach.
Which goes into 1.2. I am incredibly picky. And I am cool with being picky.
Yeah.
Because I am 41 years old. I am not going to settle for someone who I do not feel can add to my life and I can add to theirs.
Yeah. Perfectly said.
Thank you, babe.
Not be in my life, not help me, but
yes.
add
to my life. Yes. Yes. I want to be the queen in someone's life. I want to be their priority. Besides kids, obviously I understand because my kids will no one will ever take priority over my kids.
Amen.
But once we combine that, they will be my king. I will be their queen. It's so cheesy to say, but it is absolutely true. They will be on a pedestal. I will be on their pedestal. That will be our life.
Yeah.
If I don't feel that from the beginning, if I don't know that that's what's happening in the beginning, it ain't going to happen. I don't want these fair weather people who are being like, oh, well, I'm wish-washy and I don't know and blah, blah, blah. No, that isn't fucking working for me anymore. I want to know that I'm talking to somebody who wants to be in a relationship.
Well, and here's the thing. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're great.
Sham.
Yeah, no, you're great, babe.
We have been in relationships. We have kids. At this point in our life, we're looking for the real deal. So we're not looking to like hurry and settle or hurry and like get married or have kids or anything. Like we have time. Like you said, like we're patient.
Yeah.
And if we don't find it, fine.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we're going to be so picky because we know what we deserve.
That's exactly right.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're good. Number 2 for me, I love spending time with my kids. My kids are my very best friends. I love them more than I love my own life. Every second I spend with them just makes my life better.
Oh.
And I have not been on dating apps in a hot minute. I got on for 2 days, got off. I have had people text me randomly, like, when can you hang out? When can you hang out? When can you hang out? And I'm like, I can't hang out until this date, which is weeks away.
Yeah.
They will text me daily or weekly. When can you hang out? I'm like, if I have to tell you again, I'm going to fucking block you. If they can't understand the time with my kids is more precious than any time I could ever spend with them in the beginning,
Right.
then they are not the person for me.
I agree.
And that just, it comes with a lot of weight, and it's not easy for dating. If I could meet someone who can understand that these are my dates during the week,
Mm-hmm.
these are my dates during the weekend,
And sometimes they will change.
and sometimes they will change, and I will let you know if I'm into you. If they cannot understand that, or like, get a babysitter, no, that is never going to work for me ever, period. The end. These are my babies. This is their life. I am their mother.
Yeah.
This is what works for me. If you cannot get behind that, go fuck yourself. Period.
Very,
The end.
very much on the same page with that.
Yes. Number 3, I want someone that I get excited about.
Mm.
I want someone who gives me the feel-good fuzzies from the very beginning.
Yeah.
My love languages are all, honestly, I love words of affirmation. That, I would say, that and physical touch. Though, but in the beginning, obviously in the very beginning, words of affirmation. I like to know that someone is into me after we have like built a rapport over, I'm going to say a day because it is the dating world we live in.
Yeah.
Once we've been talking for a day, and then they can give me words of affirmation like, I'm really into you. I really like you. You're very beautiful. I really can't wait to spend time with you. Things in that nature. If I'm not getting that, I'm not into someone.
Right.
I really, really like that. But I also make it known that I like that. I like compliments. I like when someone tells me that they're super into me.
You are very honest with that. And I think everybody likes that. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to know that, like, somebody's into you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But then on the like flip-floppy side of number 2 with me and my kids is that I want to be someone's priority. I want to be their first choice. Like if they also have children, then if they do have a free date, I want to be their first choice. Like I want to be that priority where they're like, I have this day coming up and I am free. I want to take you out.
Oh,
Fuck, I have to add a number 5. I have to, because it's so important to me. It's like the biggest of big things to me.
wait, you're only on number 3.
I thought that was 4. Was that 3? Number 4. Number 27. 27.
I feel like you were only on number 3.
Whatever. It is incredibly important to me for someone to be a gentleman, for someone to be a protector, for someone to be incredibly manly. I want to know that I'm with a person who could protect me.
Yeah.
Even over like a provider. I want someone equal to me. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, I want someone who is equally like to my level of monetary and like being able to take care of yourself, doesn't have a lot of debt, whatever. I love a gentleman. I want someone to always open my door. I want someone to want to take me out. I want someone to want to be respectful to me. I want that old school kind of love.
Yeah.
And those are my things.
Love that.
Thanks, babe.
It's funny that you say that for your very last, because with dating, even on like my first date, my second date, my third date, whatever, like I want to go out to a place where it's not fast food. It's not like, it doesn't have to be a steak dinner,
Yeah.
but I want to go somewhere. I want to sit down. I want to have a drink. I want to have a good, nice dinner. I want you to open my door. I do this thing where
You do, and it's so cute.
if I'm feeling the vibe, if they open my door and help me in the car, I will lean over and, kind of crack their door open from the inside. It's a respectful thing. Like they're being respectful, I'm going to be respectful back to you. And I think it's cute, like
It is.
it's
very endearing.
Yeah, like you're doing something sweet for me, I'm going to do something sweet for you.
And you've had men tell you like that is incredibly sweet.
Yeah. But it is also incredibly sweet that they're doing it for me too, because not a lot of men do that.
Yeah.
And
It's such a lost tradition. That is such a beautiful thing.
And I don't have sons, but if I did, you do.
You know, I will stand outside of Logan's door and I'm like, and he'll run back over because he knows, he understands the assignment.
And I will teach my daughters that that is something that they should not ever settle for less for.
It's such a simple gesture that means so much.
Oh my gosh. It means so
in
much.
the world that we live in today, there are so many women who like take their independence to a whole other level that they get mad when someone opens their door. They're like, I can do it, whatever. Listen, men, it is not lost on us that you open our door. We love that. We appreciate that. Keep it up.
People, man, women, we appreciate it.
I agree.
It doesn't have to be like,
and men appreciate it too.
I know.
I feel
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I open the door for them because it doesn't have to be. And like, I guess that's like my little independence thing, right? Like, I can let you protect and guide and do all the things, but I'm still going to show you that like I respect you and I have respect for you. So I'm going to do this little thing for you too.
right.
And it's just a lost.
It is.
It's a lost thing, and
It is. But it's a beautiful thing.
it is.
And that's why it's one of the very first questions that I ask to the men that I'm interested in. Like, if I have a true interest and I know it's not just like leading to sex or like a random hookup, then that's one of the first things I'll ask is like, are you a gentleman? Do you feel that you're a protector? Do you feel that you're like a manly man? I could not be with a man who was not a manly man. And I'm sorry about my ex-boyfriend. Like, if there was a shooting, he would have used me as a shield. And it's so true. And you know that it's true. That was one of my biggest problems. Karina is currently choking on her drink. But she knows. And she knew that was one of the biggest things that bothered me.
So funny. Well, it's funny that you ask them because, like, I just like them to show me.
Well, because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to go on a date if I do not, because it's so important to me.
I know that it's important to you, but here's the thing. Do you think telling them they're going to do it on the first
I don't tell them. I ask them if that is how they are.
I know.
And if that is not how they are, I do not.
But what man is going to say, no, I'm not?
I say ask it in a way to where it's not like direct, like, hey, are you going to open my door? I say like, hey, would you consider yourself a gentleman? And then typically they're like, absolutely. My mama raised me right. I open doors. I pay for dinner. I do blah, blah, blah. Okay. The ones who aren't are like, oh, yeah, I'm totally a gentleman. Like, I will tell you you're pretty and like, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't go to like, they don't understand the quote unquote sidewalk rule or whatever, you know?
Okay. I get what you're saying. I guess for me anyway, I go on the first date being like, okay, show me action.
But you're different than me in that way because I don't like to waste my time. And you know that I'm such a homebody that I won't go on a date unless I am 1000% sure that it is going to be something that I'm interested in.
And I am getting to that point. Up until recently, like, well, I would pick and choose my dates for sure, but then I would just like, for me anyway, I feel like in past relationships, it's been so much talk and not a lot of action that I just like to see how I like to see their actions like in real life, in person.
Yeah.
And then I kind of go off of that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm not setting any expectations for you. But if you're going to open my door, if you're going to do all this, then like, okay, cool.
Which is normal. I have been so busy lately over the last couple of months that like, I will not make time for you. I have had one day that I have been free in the last month, and it is Friday the 13th. Of this month. And I have had multiple people be like, okay, Friday the 13th, it's coming up. You said we could hang out. No. I never said we could hang out. I said that was the day I was free. I am going to very carefully pick that day for someone who I am actually interested in going out. The people that I'm talking to are going to hear this and they're going to be pissed, but it's true. Prove to me that you deserve this one baby time slot that I have, because on the 14th, I have your Christmas party.
Yep.
And my baby boy is coming into town finally with my babyest boy, my grandson.
Yeah.
And my daughter-in-law. And they are coming into town. And for the next 2 weeks, I will absolutely not be available. So the 13th is the one day that I get.
And you might not even have that. So you might be helping.
I might be helping Karina. I may not even have that day.
I'm kidding.
No, I will absolutely
Have that day, babe.
Absolutely not. If you need help, I will absolutely help you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just so funny because like tonight you kind of have free.
And my priorities are just different now.
See,
and I will never make a man my priority unless he proves to me that he deserves to be there. And it should be that way for men too. You should never make a woman your priority unless she proves to you that she deserves to be there.
Well, and yeah, going on that, like I've come to the point in my life where obviously my kids, but then like my girlfriends who
are like
my girlfriends who have been there for me through thick and thin, especially you.
Same, babe.
Like I will drop anybody, even somebody that I am into, to spend time with you.
Right. And that's the thing is like about Dizzle coming into town for 2 weeks is that you understand. Like, you know, I will not have free time. If you want to come and spend your free time with me and my babies,
yeah,
you get it.
Oh,
you understand the assignment.
Absolutely.
And we will, oh my God, my grandson is coming and we are just going to love him so hard.
I can't wait.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Okay. We should probably wrap this up. It's so long and we did so good. And I just love you so much, Karina. Like it blows me away how you and I are so fucking different from the way that we looked, the way that we dress, to our personalities, but we are the same person.
Oh, I know.
It is wild.
I always think about that. We are the same person, but we're so not alike.
No, we are so completely different. And maybe, you know what? Maybe that's why it works. Maybe that's what I need in our relationships. Maybe that's why it works. Anyway, I love you so much.
I love you, Shan.
In our upcoming episodes, we actually have a lot of special guests.
Yes.
I have been doing a lot of networking and promoting on social media. And I have got some crazy things in the workings. I have a dominatrix.
Yeah.
I am thrilled. We are going to meet with her next Thursday before we record. So I'm very excited about her.
Me too.
Men pay her to basically submit.
I love it.
And so we actually also have someone who we're still kind of debating on this subject, but we have a person who is completely anonymous. We do not know who they are. They have been cheating on their wife of 20 years for 10 of those years. It's not something we agree with. We have both been cheated on. I have been a cheater in the past. Another person that we got is someone who is a catfish.
Yeah.
He has been catfishing women for years. He is willing to come on our podcast to talk about the lifestyle, the in and outs of being a catfish.
So crazy.
So crazy. We also have another man who he's a younger male and he is a complete submissive.
Yeah.
He wants to be completely dominated and he absolutely loves it. This is his kink. This is what he loves. So I want to get into the mind of a man who he sounds like a very masculine man. I've seen pictures of him. He looks like a very masculine man. He is a complete sub. So we're going to be interviewing him as well.
Love that.
I also love that. We also have a couple that is in an open relationship.
Okay.
So those are all upcoming episodes.
And then the therapist.
Oh, yes. And of course, my absolute favorite is the therapist. She's going to come on. We're going to be talking about personality styles with dating, and we're going to be talking about personality types and attachment styles.
Ooh.
Oof.
She's going to break my heart.
Right? So attachment styles are such a big thing because you can fake it all you want, but you take the attachment style personality test and it will tell you who you are as a person. She's actually going to be on vacation for the most of this month. So we will be getting with her later on this month, and then we'll probably have her on in January. We're going to try to get someone on for the next episode, but we're going to do a poll to see what people actually want to hear about. If we don't get enough feedback, we will be talking about the science of sex.
Woo!
Which I am incredibly excited about. So anyway, we got lots and lots of things coming up. Let us know what you want to hear about. We are so open to feedback. We will keep everyone anonymous if they would like to be, if they don't want to be anonymous. Like if you have oh my gosh, another person is we also have someone who sells content. Oh, like OnlyFans kind of style.
Okay.
And we will be interviewing her and possibly some of her friends who also do sell content as well. So, yeah, those are some things that we have coming up in the future. I'm very excited about it.
Very excited.
If you would like to be on our podcast, if you feel like there's something that you could contribute, we would absolutely love to hear from you. You can email us. You can reach out to us on social media. We are on Instagram at not_so_secret_lives. We are on Facebook at Not So Secret Lives Podcast. You can find us on TikTok at Not So Secret Lives. Obviously, all the main streaming platforms for our podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Blah, I had a lot to say, but there are just so many exciting things coming up for us. And we're so happy about doing this.
Oh my God. It's the best.
It is like our own little personal therapy sessions.
It is.
It is.
I mean, we have them anyway, but now we're recording them.
It is. It's so true. And this is lucky number 7 episode.
Woo.
And I am proud to say we have not had any negative feedback about our podcast.
No, we haven't. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the support. And yeah, we just love you.
We do love you. We love you so much. Podcasting is a slow burn. This is a passion project of ours. Obviously, we do have our careers and our life, but this is something that we are very passionate about. We want to make sure that people know that, the dating world is crazy and being sex positive and just life is wild.
Life is wild.
Yeah. And so that's really all I have to say right now. Do you have anything else to add, Karina?
I don't think so. I just love you so much, Shan.
Oh, I love you too, Karina. Ba-ba-da-da.
Woo!
To whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worry. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, know you'll stand firm. Sit and watch from the sidelines, one too many times, we get games to play, make me